Here's a strange one. You have never actually heard your own voice. Not once in your whole life. So someone plays back a video and your own voice comes out of the speaker and your very first thought is instant full body horror. Do I really sound like that? Meanwhile, everyone else in the room just shrugs. Yes, obviously, that is exactly what you sound like. So why does your recorded voice sound like a total stranger to the one person who hears it more than anyone you? And here is the genuinely unsettling bit. The voice you have been listening to inside your head all these years is a private, remastered edition. It is a version that nobody else on Earth has ever heard or ever will. Everyone else has only ever met the other one. To see why, you need to know that when you speak, the sound reaches your ears by two completely different routes. The first is air conduction. The sound leaves your mouth, travels out through the air, and arrives back at your eardrums. That is the ordinary path, the exact same one everyone else in the room is using to hear you. But you have a second secret route that nobody else can access, bone conduction. As you talk, the vibrations travel straight up through the bones of your skull and into your inner ear directly. And that bony shortcut changes everything, because your skull is brilliant at carrying the low frequencies. It passes along the deep, bassy parts of your voice far more generously than the thin air ever could. So the version playing inside your head arrives with a free upgrade, a whole layer of warm, rich, cinematic bass that literally no one outside your skull will ever get to hear. A microphone, though, does not have a skull. It can only ever pick up the sound that travels through the air. So the moment you play a recording back, all of that lovely bone-conducted bass is simply gone. What is left is the thinner, higher, air-only version of you, and to your bass-spoiled ears, it sounds wrong, tinnier, higher, somehow younger, and vaguely embarrassing. But here is the twist that gets absolutely everyone. That recording is not the wrong version. That recording is the real you. The thinner voice, the one that makes you wince, is the precise voice that every single person you have ever spoken to has always heard. The deep, smooth, confident voice in your head, that is the fake. It is a bonus track that has only ever had an audience of one. And that gap is exactly why the cringe hits so hard. Because it isn't only about the pitch. Back in 1966, two psychologists, Holzman and Rousey, gave this a name. Voice confrontation, after playing people their own recordings and watching them squirm. And they found the discomfort runs deeper than sound. A recording quietly exposes all the things you can't hear in your head. The hesitation, the flatness, little hints of your mood and your nerves. So the honest version doesn't just sound wrong, it feels less like a recording and more like an accusation. So take a moment with this. Everyone you have ever met is walking around with their own secret, bass-boosted director's cut, playing only inside their own head, utterly convinced that is how they sound. And every last one of them is, very gently, wrong. That slightly too thin stranger on the recording is the only version the rest of the world has ever actually met. Now there is one small mercy here. That flinch you feel isn't permanent. Psychologists call it the mere exposure effect. The more often you hear a thing, the more you warm to it. It's why singers and podcasters and radio hosts stop hating their own voice. They've simply heard the real one so many times that it finally starts to feel like them. Play your recordings back enough, and the stranger slowly becomes you. But until then, when you cringe at a recording and everyone around you says, that's just you, you are, quite literally, hearing two different people, and only one of them is real. It is, sadly, not the one you were hoping for. Now, if your own body quietly lying to you is the sort of thing you enjoy, the next one is a proper historical mystery. About the summer in 1518, when hundreds of people danced for days until some of them dropped and could not stop. Same channel, same nervous little man.